Part A, microeconomics. Part B, macroeconomics. See, part B, we shall start introduction to macroeconomics. Under part B, macroeconomics, first chapter is introduction is under macroeconomics. This chapter 7 I had been given because it is to be continuation from the first chapter to 12th chapter. There are 12 chapters totally. First part 6 chapter, second part 6 chapter, totally 12 chapters. That's why I had been given chapter 7 introduction to the macroeconomics. In the macroeconomics, it deals with the aggregate concepts of the economy. Aggregate concepts of the economy. But here we must come to know what the microeconomics teach, the individual aspects of the economy. But here we should come to know the aggregate economic concepts or variables. So individually we come to know already in the first chapter, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Individual utility, individual satisfaction, individual demand, individual supply, individual cost, and even price of the commodity, and even what the demand and supply in the market will be come under only related to the firm or a single market. That's why microeconomics deals with the market things of the individual supply, individual demand, and also many others. In the same way, in the macroeconomics, when we sum up totally, we should be learn the total concepts of the economy. That's called as macroeconomics. Under macroeconomics, we must come to know aggregate economic variables or aggregate economic concepts can be. But here under chapter 7, many other aggregate economic variables or concepts. Aggregate economic variables or concepts which to be get studied under the macroeconomics. But in this concept, whatever we know very well, broad economic variables. Broad economic variables in the sense that the narrow concepts of the microeconomics have been broad and wider than the micro. So broad economic variables may be come under to study general price level in the economy. To study general price level in the economy, whether price of the commodity may increase or decrease, whether the employment in the economy increased or come down. This is what is here general price level in the sense that the price of the commodity in generally as a whole in the economy, whether increased or decreased, is to be kept learned. That's called as general price level in the economy is to become to study. But which is applicable as a economy as a whole, not individual. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ, ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಒಂದು ಫರ್ಮ್, ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಅದರ ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಇಡೀ ಎಕಾನಮಿಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಮ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. Here also the second way, whether the employment in the country increase or come down or comes down. That's what has increased. ಅಂದರೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗದ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆಯೋ, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಡೌನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇಳಿಕೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ level of employment generation in the economy, whether the same employment may be as unemployment, whether the unemployment level has increased or decreased, whether it is decreased or maybe increased. This to be come to know means we must understand the macroeconomic concepts. Not only for this, even the saving also can be the production, total production or gross production in the economy is to be get studied whether it is increased or decreased. Whether it is to be get study about the whether it increased or decreased of the gross production. Gross production, the total production in the economy can be understood only under the macroeconomics, not under the microeconomics. And even some of the regional indicators. Regional indicators. It may be population, size of the population, whether it has been increased or decreased. This what is regional indicators. Such indicators is to be get studied whether increased or decreased. It may be the wholesale price index, the consumer price index as a whole is to be get studied under the macroeconomics. Even the savings also can be, general savings in the economy can be understood under the macroeconomic level. Not only for this, in the economy, whether improvement in the state, improving the state, we must understand whether the state has been improved or not. Here state in the sense that it is nothing but economy. It is nothing but economy. State or economy, whether it is improved or not, can be understood in the main way of the regional indicators. Reasonable indicators can. Yes, reasonable indicators. Here, reasonable indicators which can be applicable for one and all, and also one and each of the concepts of the economy of macro can be understood under the same. This is what is aggregate economic variables or concepts can be studied under the macroeconomics. That's why macroeconomics is nothing but the branch of economics which studies the aggregate variables of the economy as a whole, or in the economy could be called as macroeconomic concepts. But here whatever the study can possible, what concept you are studying under the macroeconomics is highly differentiated from the concepts of microeconomics. Microeconomics concepts को macroeconomic concepts के ತುಂಬಾ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Microeconomics study of the micro activities or maybe the micro concepts of the economy. Micro ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರ ಆಸೆ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಅಂತದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. This is what is how the macroeconomics can be understood regarding the uneven economy. So take the production of goods and services. Production of goods and services in the economy. The production of goods and services in the economy can be taken aggregate. Total production. The total production of goods and services can understand by the way of the macroeconomics, not the individual production of the firm can be. And even this total production will be called as output. Total output. What the total output can be possible to be come to understand or maybe the come to know it can be know about the total output level what the firms and individuals can be produced in the economy can. This is what we can understand in the economy. When we take it together, production of goods and services taken together. So you can understand that when goods and services produced in the economy has been taken together, you can understand that taken together in the sense that sum of part will be total. When we take the total production of goods and services, that we can understand, we can come to know the total production in the economy by aggregating it. Aggregating totally. That's why we can take it as together. That together can be come to know what the total output level has been. This output level in the economy can understand what extent of the production has been, whether it is growth can be. That is the increasing of the total output in the sense that growth. Growth of the economy. It means what the total production or total output can indicate the growth of the economy. In the case it has been increases. Same way, when the price of the commodity, price of goods and services increased is called as inflation. When price of the commodity has been increased is called as deflation. It's called as deflation. The increasing of the prices is called as inflation, and decreasing of prices is called as deflation. But when the output level decreases, output level decreases or comes down, automatically growth level decreases. When level of growth as we decreases, that is to be called as when the level of growth due to the output level has been decreases, it could be the total production and output of the economy has been comes down can be. That can as simultaneously can be differentiated goods can be decreased. In this way, what the level of output can be denotes regarding the how the economy can be achieve growth only by the way of the macroeconomic indices and the indicators of the economy regarding the growth. Growth improves, automatically it can become better in the level of output. And when the growth level has been decreases, that shows that all the productive units of the economy have not been growth better. This is what is how the production of goods and services can define together in understanding the growth of the economy. Growth of the economy by the way of increasing the production of goods and services taken together. That's called as aggregating at the correct way. That aggregating can also possible to be understood by the way of prices also can be, because the GDP of the economy can be understood by the way of the prices of goods and services calculated together in the economy as a whole. This is what is how the economy can understand by the way of the macroeconomic concepts can. And even not only for this, even the food. For example, take the food production. Food production. When food production has been increases, that's called as the growth in the food sector has been increases, agriculture sector has been increases. When the same, the food production has been comes down. When food production has been comes down, that indicates that growth level in the agriculture sector has been comes down or maybe decreases. This is what is how the economy can be understood by the way of the growth through the goods and services. Not only for this, even industrial. Here, industrial products can also possibly be get indicating the growth of the industrial sector. Agricultural products shows that the growth level of the agricultural sector. In this way, whatever the services of goods and services, whatever the services have been made by the service sectors of economy, can also understand the growth level of the service sector. When both agricultural sector, industrial sector, and also service sector has been taken together, the total is going to be called as growth of the economy as a whole. That's called as macroeconomic concepts. ನಾವು ಒಂದೊಂದಾಗಿ ಬಿಡಿಬಿಡಿಯಾಗಿ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್, ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್, ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಇನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ನಮಗೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆಯ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿನ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಇನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ economy's growth level can be. But if aggregate levels, come to the aggregate levels. If aggregate levels are various aggregate levels can be possible to be have in the economy. Output, price and employment. Here output level, price level, employment level, there are various levels are there for the economic development. In order to understand the economics, whether growth has been achieved or not, we can understand the level of output, level of price, and level of employment. If we have a better output level, automatically we can say that economy can have better level of production can. In the level of price level, whether price has been increased or decreased, we can also understand that price level make the economy to be as a better GDP and also better level of the national income. Even the employment level, you must understand that whether more of the employment generation has been made or less of the employment generation has been made, and even whether we can understand what is the unemployment level in the economy, what extent is to be get rise the level of unemployment. This can be understand by the way of the employment level. When we are go with the aggregate levels of this, ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ, ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಕಲಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಈವನ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿ ಅನಲೈಸಿಂಗ್. We can analyzing the level of the various relationships because each and every level of output level has been close related to the price level, price and output level close relation to the employment level. In this way, each and every variables of the economy have been related to each other. That's why we can understand that we must analyzing the level of the relationship between the different levels of this price and even the output and also employment levels. This is what is how we used to be get to understand the level of the output can be. But not only for this, all the representative, but to be understand analyzing this relationships among these, we can have the individual aspects or variables. The individual aspects or variables we can understand the representative code can be. So individual aspects or variables can be now representative. representative good. Here, what the individual aspects and variables we have been considered, it is to be get representative it can be take, because this representative is the out of all products. Out of all products, because various products are there in the economy to produce the goods and services. So in order to be understand what is the level of the output, what is the level of the price of the commodity, and even what is the employment level in the economy can possibly get understand by the way of the representative good only. ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಎಕಾನಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳು ಆಗಿದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದೊಂದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಅದು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ, that's why it's called as the variable. The various variables can be taken to be understand the macroeconomic concepts can be like prices, wages, interest, and many others can be. In this way, whatever the prices, wages and interest are there, that can be possible to be get understand by the way of the various variables can be. ನೋಡಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳ ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಒಂದೇ ಸಾಲಿಗೆ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, we can understand the wages, we can understand the interest by the representative products only. ನಾವು representative products ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯ ಸಾಲಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೊರೆ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಕಲಿಯೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೇರೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಲಗಳಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ವೇಜಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಕೃಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೂಲಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕೂಲಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಎರಡು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅನ್ವಯವಾಗುವಂತೆ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ various variables can be studied in the aggregate manner in the economy can. Not only for this, even the individual commodities also can be. Individual commodities can understand representative good. We can understand the representative good. We can understand individual commodities can be taken together on consideration, and also that can be applicable to the representative good to be understand. This is what is macroeconomics help us to get understand the aggregate variables by the way of the individual representative good at the artha. Not only for this, even the whatever the changes can take place in the variables, related variables we can possibly get simplified in the economy can. Suppose profits, saving, see whatever the profit is there, whatever the saving is there, that can be understand by the way of the representative good. What is the profit and ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಅನ್ನಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾವ ಉದ್ದಿಮೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಮೇತ ಅದರ ಸಾಧಕ ಬಾಧಕಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಯಾರು ಉಳಿತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಉಳಿತಾಯ ಮಾಡುವ ವಿಧಾನವನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಉಳಿತಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸಮೇತ ಅನ್ವಯಿಸಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್. ಆಗ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸೊ ಹೌ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಬಿ ಮೇಕ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕಾನಮಿ, ಹೌ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೆಟ್ ದ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್. ಈ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಇದು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಅಂಡ್ ಇವನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್. So when the level of growth comes down, when level of growth comes down is called as depression. But ಯಾವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ as inflation, price of the commodity decreasing is called as deflation. In the same way, when the economical growth has been comes down or decrease, is called as depression anta artha. Adene when it has been increasing, is nothing but to be called as development anta kaltivi. Ideya growth has been increases in the economy, that could be called as economical growth anta kaltivi. Ade growth kadime aagta hogre andre output level has been comes down, is called as growth has been comes down. This growth has been comes down in the sense that it is called as depression anta kaltivi. Depression is nothing but the level of output decreases in the economy for a certain period, is called as depression anta kaltivi. Andre growth level has been comes down in the economy, it could be called as depression anta artha. Not only for this, there has been the rivalry between various commodities of second. In the economy, we can understand the level of variables. Comparison of different sectors. Different sectors. We can understand the comparison of different sectors. Now, different sectors anna comparison ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಬಹುದು. ಇವಾಗ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಸನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ can be compared to the industrial sector, or secondary sector and primary sector can be compared to the other sectors also. This is what is comparison ani ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದಾಗ whole economy has been taken together to understand the what level of the changes has been made in the economy. Otherwise we cannot be possible. This is what is how the comparison of different sectors can be made under the macroeconomic level. Not only for this, suppose two sectors. Example, two sectors. One is agriculture sector, another one is industrial sector. One is agriculture sector, another one is industrial sector. We can understand that the two sectors can compare from one another. Suppose the agriculture sector has not been developed so far, means we can understand that industrial sector is comparatively better than the agriculture sector. Suppose industrial sector has not been better output level has been done, or better production of goods and services in the industry, means it is not been growth level in the economy. Thus what is agriculture sector is better off than the industrial sector. ಹೀಗೆ ಕೃಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೃಷಿ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕೃಷಿ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಹೀಗೆ ನಾವು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Variables, it may be prices, the production of output, and also many other employment and also unemployment level. These are the most considerable variables to understand the sector, and also what the sector can be compared from one another can also easily can made. This is what is how the different sectors can comparatively study under the macroeconomics. That's why macroeconomics is important to be get study the variables in order to compare one sector to another sector. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಮಾಡೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಧಾರಣವಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. Not only for this, you can understand some other way also can be regarding the economy as a whole. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ we can understand that economy as a whole. Economy as a whole we can understand regarding the whatever the economy can be have better off or not, or maybe developed or not, maybe come forward or not, or economically progressive or not, we can understand in the macroeconomics, not under the microeconomics. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕತೆ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೇ, ಮುಂದುವರಿತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗೋಡ್ಸ್, we can consider different goods. from representative good. Representative good. From the representative good, when we are moved with different goods, ನಾವು representative good ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆವರೇಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ out of the goods only one good can be compared the other goods what extent it has been done with a better off or not ಅಂತ. ಆದರೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ we can compare one good to another good what way it has been made. ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗೂಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಗೂಡಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಸಿವ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್. ನೋಡಿ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ even we can compare single category of goods. Some of the single category of goods can also possible to be get understand by the way of the comparing from one good to another good among the different goods. Not only for this, even when we take the example, when we compare the different type of the technology, labor, technology. When you take labor and technology, now labor ಮತ್ತು technology ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ labor is better in India because we have the huge number of population. Technology is not better because we are not advanced with the capital investment. We are lagging with the capital investment. That's why better to be use more of the labor in the production than the technology. Then easily we can be compare. ಅವಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಲೇಬರ್ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಮಿಕರನ್ನೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋದೇ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್. ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಎಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೋರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ನಾವು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ವೇಸ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ನಮಗೆ ಬಂಡವಾಳದ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, ಹಣ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿಯನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಲೇಬರನ್ನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಬಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೈ ಕಂಪೇರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮೋರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಸರ್ವಿಸಸನ್ನು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಡೀ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬದಲಾವಣೆಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಸಮೇತ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ನೋಡಿ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ the kinds of commodities. Different kinds of commodities. We can take various types of the commodities we can understand. Like agriculture commodities, industrial commodities, services. There are different types of commodities can be. Say agricultural commodities, say food, clothing, shelter, etc. Even industrial commodities like industrial commodity machines. Machines may be investment goods. Or capital goods. Services can be a picture. engineer, a cook, many others. You see, various types of the commodities can understand. One is agriculture commodities, maybe food, shelter, clothing, and many others. The industrial products may be machines and even investment goods and also capital goods. Here, the industrial commodities are also called as industrial goods and also capital goods. Why they are called as industrial goods or investment goods? Because the goods which is necessarily invest more and more capital is called as investment goods. ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಬಂಡವಾಳವನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿ ಯಾವ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅವನ್ನ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. But here industrial goods means the goods which can be used in the industry to produce the other goods. It's called as industrial commodities or industrial goods ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಅಂದರೆ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ವಸ್ತುವನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ ವಸ್ತುವು ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಕೃಷಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು. ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಬಂದರೆ ಟೀಚರು, ಲಾಯರು, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರು, ಕುಕ್ಕು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರು, ಮೆನಿ ಅದರ್ಸ್, ದೋಸ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ನಡೆಯೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್. ಇವನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್, ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ. But here, whatever the representative goods can be taken. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೇ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್, ಹೋಲ್ಸೇಲ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅವಾಗ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. 5 ವಸ್ತು, 10 ವಸ್ತು, 20 ವಸ್ತು, 30 ವಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ಇಷ್ಟಂತ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೆಲೆ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವೆದರ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅಂತ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೇ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವಾಗ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್, ಹೋಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂಥವೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸೇ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇವನ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ 1000 more goods are available in the economy, but we cannot consider all those goods. That's why we used to take only the few representative goods to be analyze the economy, what can be changes, the output, the employment, price and also many others can possible. Not only for this, even the macroeconomics tries to be get, but even macroeconomics tries to analyze the level of the changes that have been made in these different types of the goods. Prices, output, employment and also many other levels. Of these goods. See, macroeconomics try to be analyze the prices, output, employment levels of these goods comparatively from one good to another good. That's why macroeconomics is very useful to study the total economical progress, output and also development, not with the individual. This is what is macroeconomics can easily understand regarding the how the economy can be formed with the better growth, better development and also better way of understanding the things. This is what is how the economy can understand. Not only for this, even many other concepts make us to be get understand not only individual but also aggregate levels can be. In this way, there are various number of goods are there. The different level of the goods can understand by the way of the aggregate level. In this way, macroeconomics teaches us regarding the aggregate changes in the economy through the variables. That variables can understand by the representative goods, which can be representing the whole number of goods, or total number of goods can be. Not only for this, different kinds of the goods can be used for, suppose in labor. Labor can be used as a agricultural farm. Same bank clerk. Engineer. Doctor is saying the same labor can be used as a agricultural farmer, bank clerk, engineer, doctor and many other way. We can understand that each and every variable can have multi-purpose use or different angles can be. We cannot be compared the work of the farmer to that of the bank clerk or that of the engineer or maybe the doctor. Compare ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್, ಎಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ ಬೇರೆ, ಕ್ಲರ್ಕ್ ಬೇರೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ we cannot be compared, but we can be make the representative of this labor. ಆವಾಗ ಈ ಲೇಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಆ ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ we can understand what the changes can have in the economy as a whole can be. This is what is macroeconomics is nothing but the state of aggregates, study of aggregates regarding the variables in the economy which can be changes from time to time taken together. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆಯಾಗಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಕಾನಮಿಯ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಒಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕಲಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು. But when the commodities we are going to be get studied, we should be understand regarding the how one can be changes the level of aggregates. ಈ aggregates ಹೆಂಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಗೆ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. So shall come to know in the next class the comparison between the different economies of micro and also macro. Okay, thank you one and all.